Let's head to Africa, and the small, landlocked country of Lesotho. It is completely surrounded by South Africa, but despite its relatively small size, it has something its much larger neighbor lacks, and that is water. Since a deal was signed in the 1980s, Lesotho has helped keep South African taps running, but as demand increases, its citizens haven't always been feeling the benefits, as Andre Lombard reports.
Here they call it Lesotho-White Gold. The Katy Dam, the second largest curvature dam in Africa. More than 500,000 Olympic Seas swimming pools flow into neighboring South Africa each year. It's a deal that earns Lesotho $200 million annually, but it's not without its controversies. From the dam, it's around a kilometer to Harare village. The country might be water rich, but not all people here share in that wealth. So when we first arrived about half an hour ago, this spring, which is inside here, was running quite strongly. It's now dried up, which means the ladies who've been here about 5.5 hours will have to wait for the water to start again. You never heard anything at the spring. We meet Mantab Boeing, who got here at 5 a.m., but that wasn't early enough to get fresh water.
The water shortage situation here is terrible. We are struggling to get water. Sometimes when it rains, a dead dog can be washed into the spring. We have to just take it out, as we need the water, even if it's contaminated.
And dirty water leads to other consequences.
We regularly get sick, even small children. They drink this water and they have upset and painful stomachs. Sometimes when you come to the water, you see little worms, but you still have to drink it because there's no way we can survive without it.
The village chief tells me that despite promises stretching back 5 years to fix the problem, nothing has happened.
My message to the government is that they should come here and see how we live. We can't have this beautiful dam built around our village, and yet we're still living in poverty. That's not an opinion, you will hear on guided tours that tourists are offered of the dam 185 high, with officials keep to impress how much life has improved here. The government elected in October 2022 admits there is a problem and says they are acting to address it. We now have to, as BASO, refocus our main objective is going to be going forward to give water to Lesotho, and then secondly do the water transfer, and now we have to look at the provision of water to the locals by 2030. That's what we're going to be looking at, so you can give assurances that those villages will have access to safe drinking water by 2030. I'll bet my life on it. This is where much of the water ends up, 450 kilometers away in the world's largest city not built on a water source. Johannesburg is South Africa's economic heartland, the richest city in Africa, but the city of gold is getting thirstier. Taps increasingly run dry here due to crumbling infrastructure, a growing population, and reservoirs vulnerable to climate change, which means demand is increasing for Lesotho's water.
With life we need water, as well as with the economy it needs water as well. So Thea's water is quite important because it basically drives part of South Africa's GDP.
And demand is starting to come from elsewhere. A deal has been agreed with Botswana to take water more than 700 kilometers through a pipeline into the country. Thanks for watching this video.